Hello, guys. If you're here, it's because you followed the arrow. And I just wanted to talk about Althusser and his concept of the ideological and repressive state apparatuses. Now, I know these concepts have been kind of done to death, they've been talked about to death, and I don't include them here as a means to try to prove anything, or certainly not to try to give a reductive, simplistic view of institutions. Um, it's just this is just here for us, or for myself, or for whoever, as as we become teachers, to not take for granted or to not assume that the institution you work for is neutral. That's it. I mean, that's why I put this here. I think it's still useful. I think his binary, or his distinction between repressive state apparatus and ideological, is still useful, even though in that same essay, which is called um, ideological state apparatuses and ideology, he does say that they always bleed into each other. They always, to use a bad pun, they always intertwine. But it's useful to think about. And so whenever we think of Althusser, in that same essay, talks about how schools are the most powerful of the ideological state apparatus, or are becoming the most powerful. Some people argue that that's not true anymore, that the media has taken over, but I think it's still useful for us to think about um, what we're teaching and why we're told to teach certain things. Uh, why the focus on specific skills. I mean, I'm as pragmatic as the next person. People need to learn skills to get by in the world, but why the isolation of those skills? Um, Always be suspicious if somebody says school is supposed to be this, it's supposed to teach this, that specific skill, or this, or it's not supposed to teach that. Always be suspicious of that. They'll just take it for granted. And so the other slides here, when I say, do they need tools to question the system, I'm kind of playing on people's idea that, oh, well, we need to give students school the tools to to move around in the world, and I'm saying yes, and we also need to uh, maybe promote the tools to question the system also, not just to accept it. So that was my reason for including this kind of bit of information. I uh, I also want to say that I I I don't have anything against the police or the courts or the military or anyone who's uh, part of a church at all. You know, I have family members who are in all those things, and I grew up religious, so it's my including that is not as a condemnation, wholesale or individually, of those institutions or anybody in those institutions. Just as food for thought, and that's it.